Scooby-Doo? More like Scooby-Don't. No. Stop it. Take that, Shakespeare. True, a cartoon character can't call authorities because it might offend cartoon minorities. A new video game featuring Velma from Scooby-Doo, the second hottest one after Fred, has made some changes after people suggested she was a racist Karen for being able to call the cops on black characters. Thankfully, she still gets bonus points for being a lesbian. A beautiful lesbian. Multiversus is a fighting game that features several Warner Brothers characters, including renowned golfer LeBron James from Space Jam 2. Apparently, some people thought it was messed up Velma could call the police. Here's a clip of her taking down LeBron.
You're in big trouble now. Let's find some glue.
Victory!
Oh, boy, am I old. I don't know what happened. Not pictured there was LeBron flopping on the ground trying to draw a foul. I know my sports. Huh?
Well played.
I wrote that joke.
Well played.
I wrote that joke myself because I know sports. But as we could have predicted, few people actually complained about this game. There was a petition, but only a couple dozen had signed it. But that's all it takes to scare these castrated companies. Warner Brothers has updated the game, and instead of the police showing up, the mystery van takes the bad guy away. Apparently, this will remove the bad vibes that players of color might get when they see a police car. And it replaces that with that odd feeling of getting into a van with 4 weirdos and a talking dog. Wow. I don't think you could have ended on a quieter note. I should have announced that Kenneth Starr passed away, and it probably would have been more of a laugh. My God. There you go. Now you're... Tyrus? Have you been upset by Scooby-Doo?
Have I been upset by Scooby-Doo? I love Scooby-Doo. I did a movie with Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a clip?
Yeah, I have a clip. Roll it. If... Time to call your mama.
Iris.
Funky.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, how long did you train for that part?
I did my own stunts for that one. And shout out to Triple H for being such a great cushion. Listen, I couldn't, as a black man, I could not be more annoyed by this stupid-ass story. First of all, who the hell picks her in a fight game?
Yeah.
Like, her war cry is Jinkies. And again, it has nothing to do with any... She also did that to Bugs Bunny. So Peter Rabbit, he was pissed on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's how it made rabbits look getting carried off by the police. This is what happens. It was one guy. He said the magic word. He goes, as a black man, I'm offended seeing someone who is arrested. Now, what she does is, just so you guys understand, is she solves a mystery that you did something wrong, makes a wanted sign, and then she calls the police. Back in the day, that would be a responsible young adult. You see something bad happen, you call the police and they come and investigate. Now what they want to happen is you see something you don't like, you call the mob, they'll come kidnap him, take him in a van, and run off somewhere with him. It's just what it is a blatant attack on the police department once again by these woke cowards. They're fine with a mob of people taking you off to somewhere instead of law enforcement coming. It's pathetic.
You know, Jim, this is almost like a parallel to the last block in that we've lowered the bar on what's offensive, that, like, it's got to offend you because you are offensive.
I am offensive.
Yes.
And I'd much rather hear Velma yelling, let's go Brandon, than Allahu Akbar. I'm not going to stop. Now, you brought it on yourselves. Velma contemporary. She should Me Too Scooby for putting his nose in her crotch without consent.
For years, that went on.
Yeah, it did.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, though, you know, Kat, every episode, you're probably too young for Scooby-Doo, the villain was always an old white rich guy. Remember, they'd always rip off the mask and it'd be old man McGillicuddy?
Yeah, it was never a brother.
Never a brother. It was reverse racism, Kat.
I am too young.
That is all she heard.
Yeah.
That is all she heard.
So I just thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. People who sit around playing video games, I used to call losers until I got addicted to video games for 1 year. But I did stop when I got it to a 5-star island. But yeah, thanks for the congratulations. It's not that easy. Most people only make it to 4-star max on Animal Crossing. But then there's people who sign petitions about video games. I mean, you gotta try to find some kind of hobby, even if the hobby's just drinking.
Yeah,
It's a better use of your time. You'll talk to people.
that's true. And there are different levels of drinking you can reach.
Yeah.
Except the rewards diminish.
Yeah. I think it goes more like in this direction.
Exactly. Oh, and it's even worse when you quit. Vivek, do you think this is going to solve a lot of major problems? This, like, when you worried about the feelings of a fictional character, right? That's got to help. Like, in fictional world, everybody's happy now. Everything works.
Well, that's good. It's like works in reverse. Like, the happier you make people in fictional world, the more it reflects on how unhappy you are in your real life, playing video games and worrying about social justice in the offline world. It's just this victimhood culture on steroids, though. We actually have to make up these victimhood narratives. We can't find them enough in real life that we have to look to a video game to complain about it in the end. And I didn't see the whole video game episode or whatever, but it does seem a little bit racist as a presupposition to say that she can call the police on anybody, but the thing that we're worried about is that she's going to call the police on a black man. As best I can tell, anybody could be one of the bad guys she calls the police on as well. And so we view our history, we view the present, now we view video games through our victimhood tinted goggles as well. And so, not like I wrote a book about it or something.
No. I wrote a book.
You know, Greg, what I'm really worried about is not her, but the fact that Shaggy looks like he makes meth in a bathtub.
Yeah. Who would get in that van with Shaggy? And what?
I might.
Well, you... Oh, I have a low view of my panel.